since the start of this year, Gauteng has seen multiple tragic food poisoning cases, and many of them involve children linked to spaza shops. But in view of what's transpired, talk to us about what the department has uncovered in terms of the root causes of these incidences and what kind of public health and economic ripple effects we've seen cases, especially in township economies, the informal market as well, places like Ennerdale and places like Orange Farm as well.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having us. I think it's important for the city of Johannesburg to be clear and indicate that we want to address and deal with and mitigate these foodborne illnesses and also fatalities that we've experienced industry. And we're fortunate enough that since we've started putting in more effort, being on the ground with the people, we haven't experienced any determination of the city in engaging with the community through community awareness programs, through the stakeholder forums that we've been having as the city of Johannesburg. So therefore, we believe that through the training that we are providing, through the inspections that we continue to have through our sister departments, environmental health, development planning and fire, and the partners that we are bringing into the fold, into this initiative, so that we continue to train our people. We see that there's been a positive progress in terms of engaging with us and also learning from us, but also the consistent training that is trying to avoid the fatalities and the foodborne illnesses. In terms of the ripple effect, we want to see the sector growing, and we do have a program, we do have a policy that insists on supporting, developing and providing financial and non-financial resources to local spaza shop operators. And henceforth, you see the partners that we are dealing and that we are bringing into this initiative so that we are able to support the local spaza shop owners with all the necessary help, including the training that they require in the sector.
Well, thank you for speaking to that, Benji. You're speaking about creating a safe ecosystem at large. And Simon, this is obviously where you come in, your organization, leading the technical aspect of the training that Benji's just alluded to in terms of, the measures that have been put in place. And perhaps you could outline what's come through. What are some of those common mistakes you're witnessing in spaza shop food handling and storage as well? How do you ensure that the training that will be undergone, it's not just a checklist, a once-off phenomenon, it empowers shop owners to make long-term strategic changes? Simon, I don't know if you're there. I think your visuals are frozen. Okay, it seems like Simon visuals are frozen. So let's continue now to Masechaba. You're obviously operating in the space, owner of and I wonder if we look at the ecosystem that's coming, being highlighted, the incidences that have also come to the fore. I mean, your business, it serves cooked food. With that comes with, safety risks as well. But as a practitioner, as an operator, what are the biggest challenges that you faced in keeping your food safe? How's the training assisted you? Talk to us about, the numbers, the traffic that you experience every day in terms of the customers who really rely on you and your services.
All right. I'm Masechaba Monareng, and I'm the owner of Chubby Cheeks Eatery. It's located at Naturena in 2452 Porter Street. And my business sells traditional South African food. As you can see here, we have the gourmet pata, and we have our most delicate chicken, grilled chicken, succulent, and this is food that we serve to the community, and they love it so much. And we are operating from Monday to Fridays. And my business has started from a corner of a tuck shop. I used to sell burritos, rolls, and now I have a shop, so I've really grown into it. And this program that we went to, the training of health and safety, it's really helped me a lot to know required for a trading license. I have my CIPC already, and I have the permit. So I've learned more also that it includes way more in terms of fire certificates. It involves our licensing. It involves zoning certificates. So they're just to know where to go to and what we need in order to be fully operating. It's really helped me with also knowing how to separate raw foods to cooked foods, the temperatures of the fridge, and what I need to do in order to make a healthy and safe environment for my community.
Yeah.
So that has really helped me a lot. I also found different opportunities, such as the small business development, of which I am really interested in, and I actually want to go to the offices and get my funding so I can improve my business. So the program really helped me.
Okay, well, Masechaba, you really have touched on a few aspects of business development and just the growth as an entrepreneur, in relation to what the training has afforded for you. There are issues of access to credit, but thank you for touching on your relationship to the community, because it is about respect, right? It is about also ensuring that those standards are met. And Simon, I believe you're back, so I'm going to, just pick up on what Benji's echoed, Masechaba as well as a recipient organization leading the technical side of all of this training. I mean, what are you witnessing in terms of some of the common mistakes in spaza shop food handling, their storage as well? But my earlier question was also looking at how it does become a tick box exercise. This is a long-term solution that really truly empowers shop owners for long-term changes.
Yes. So I think, first of all, just want to appreciate the opportunity to come through and to talk around food safety. Firstly, what we are witnessing on the ground is most people, they are passionate towards complying, capacitation and support. And what Seat of Joburg is doing is quite commendable, going down to the people to give them the knowledge. Even when we talk about food safety, the issue of mixing up dried food and wet food is an issue of space, limitation of space as well as infrastructure. And there is need for different funding options that spaza shops need to really fall into and apply for. But the appetite on the ground, it is very much quite vast, and I think everyone is willing to cooperate. And I think with the spaza shops that you're working with, we've been entitled to train 500 spaza shops in partnership with the wholesale and retail sector, that we're also there on the ground in terms of what are the requirements in terms of food safety.
Yeah.
But when you talk about safety, we split it into three. There's environmental safety as well as the fire safety part. And the respective departments from the City of Joburg were also there to rehash on the requirements for them to comply with municipal bylaws to ensure that the spa shops are operating in a safe and cleaner environment. But I think we also want to appreciate the partnership from private sector. We had MTN coming through, we had Standard Bank from a financial literacy point of view, MTN to different connectivity products that they have. So the partnership from private sector is quite humbling, and the appetite on the ground from the spaza shop owners to comply, it is there. There is willingness, and I think we're going through to take them through beyond food safety, also the licensing requirements in terms of municipal bylaws. So there is appetite, there is willingness to comply.
Okay, thank you, Simon, for that. I mean, obviously also looking at the realities on the ground, they operate under tight financial constraints as well. And perhaps you could speak to how the training is contextual, right? So it's actually adapted to the realities on the ground, even capacity building, where failure is part of the process.
Yes. So I think one of the challenges that they have is space.
Yes.
I think working with the City of Joburg in terms of zoning and looking for appropriate spaces for them will be one of the things that need to be taken into consideration going forward. But I think with lots of the roadshows that are being done in partnership with City of Joburg, I'm sure ID places will be identified for them so that they comply even to bylaws in terms of space as well.
Okay, thank you for responding to that. Benji, let me bring you back into the conversation. I mean, obviously we're seeing social dynamics also playing out. So there's gender dynamics that come to the fore. Issues of load shedding, there's fuel and storage shortage and space that Simon's also just alluded to. There's the impact of counterfeit goods and obviously just the capacity incidences as well. There's also the management of tensions between foreign shop owners at large. And talk to us about the approach on that front, how those tensions are being quelled and also managed.
We as a city rely on JMPD to ensure that there's bylaw enforcement. And also the partnership that we have with the Department of Home Affairs to ensure that also people that are operating in the space are in the country. We do not enforce immigration as the city, but we rely on our partners, especially the Home Affairs Department. But also there are regulations in terms of small business acts and relation acts in terms of who is supposed to be operating in the space in terms of asylum seekers and refugees. And therefore, we follow those bylaws guided by Home Affairs. From our side, as the City of Johannesburg, our role is to ensure that our municipal bylaws are followed later, but also we bring in partners like Bontate Simon to really support the local operators and ensure that they are trained in terms of food hygiene, but also relying on our sister departments that are responsible for this space, because we do have, as the City of Johannesburg, sister departments that are involved for enforcing bylaws in this space. For consent use, for land use management, for BITS, we have the Department of Development Planning. For food hygiene and the issuing of certificates of acceptability or health certificate, we have the Department of Environment. For fire safety, we have the Department of Fire under EMS, and therefore these departments are very critical in ensuring that we, as the Department of Economic Development, as we pursue economic growth and pursue to regulate the sector, we rely on their expertise and their money to ensure that when we bring in like-minded partners like Bontate Simon, they are supported, they are empowered, and also in terms of the regulation, trained and implement supposed to be done and support the city's initiative. So for us, in terms of engaging with non-South Africans, we continue to engage with them, especially the ones that are legal in the country as guided by those of the Immigration Act of the country. We engage with them, but for those who are operating illegally, JD comes in and does what it's supposed to do in terms of the city's bylaws.
All right, and obviously there's the broader issue about the contribution that, you know, informal businesses and the informal sector has in township development, and why it's crucial to not punish, also support that system. And if you can speak to, you know, some of the figures on that front, particularly for the economic hub of our country in Gauteng province, talk to us a little bit more about the facts and figures.
So you look at this sector specifically. It's a huge sector in terms of the amount it generates. We are told it's 178 billion per year generated through this sector. And you look at the City of Johannesburg itself, specifically focusing on it. So far, in terms of the registration process that we've received 3,921 spaza shop applications that we are currently as the City of Johannesburg. We do assume as the city that this is a low number compared to the actual number see on the ground. And for us, we want that number to expand, but also to be able to access the spaza shop fund that has been established by the Department of Small Business and Development. And therefore, that we grow the sector, we are able to create jobs for the locals, we are able to also create jobs in other sectors that are able to support the spaza shops, your buying, your retail and wholesale sectors that are also part of this program. So we think for us that as the City of Johannesburg, it is important that the sector is grown, but also regulated so that it's able to generate jobs for our people. People who are able also, very importantly, people who are also able to pay for municipal rates, municipal services, because we want our people to be regulated, but also be able to pay for the services that they are using from the city of Johannesburg, the water that they are using, the lights that they are using, the sanitation, including the waste management, the waste refusal that they are using. We want people to be able to pay for those services that the city is providing to them. And therefore, it's possible if we make sure that the sector itself is regulated, they have all the requirement permits, especially the shop permit that we will be issuing out as soon as possible as the city of Johannesburg, once the vetting and verification process has been done completely.
Okay, and thank you for speaking to those processes unfolding. I mean, Masechaba, let me back to you, just as an operator, obviously as the owner of Chubby Cheeks Eatery. Competition is also real. And I wonder how you manage to keep your prices, at an affordable rate, so that obviously you can make an income and a profit, but you can keep competing against some of your other competitors. And do you think that the system is fair overall to local operators? Masechaba?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to know, in terms of operating your business, competition is real, and pricing, obviously. So it comes to the fore. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you ensure that your business remains competitive? What are the challenges on that? What are the challenges on that front for you as an operator?
I believe that social media has taken over so much, so I make sure that I utilize that to promote my online, to get customers from way past Naturena, and I make sure that I always maintain good customer service, so that people, even though they may be far, they know if they come here, they get the best service from me and the biggest smile. And in terms of pricing, I make sure that I check my slips, that I check if anything has increased, so that I can maintain that and do my pricing and my costing for all of my foods, from oil to chips to spice. I make sure that everything is balanced. And if I have to, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do, but I have to, because things are expensive and I have to work on the profits.
No, absolutely. Thank you. That was well said. And I mean, even on a more sort of, topic, because of the precedents that had been set, just given the incidences that have come to the fore and the lives that have lost, for communities, for families, for those who've lost loved ones, what would you like to say to them today to restore their hope and trust, in the system, and perhaps, the initiatives that are being undertaken, but even just from you as an operator in the broader scheme?
I'd like to tell everyone to not give up. In terms of funding as well, keep applying, even though you may not get an immediate response, but keep applying. As much as I've also applied to various places, I motivate myself that, one day someone will see you, they will recognize you. And I think that biggest thing for me in this business was the starting point. Everything else will come after, but the most challenging thing for someone to start. And I think that everyone should take it and start, whether it's with a 200 Rand, with a 50 Rand, just start your business. Don't think that you have to be perfect by the get-go. No, everything starts small. As much as I told everyone that I started in a corner of a pub selling Boerewors rolls. So anything is possible. Look at me now, I have a shop, and I also want to venture into having a food truck, going to food festivals, those kind of things. They didn't come to me at that moment. I just thought, let me take whatever I have and start this business. And I believed that it would grow. So to everyone, do not give up. Just start your business and it will grow as time goes. Do not give up.
All right, Masechaba, the an operator, of course, an entrepreneur, speaking to her success story, perhaps one of the recipients benefiting from some of the initiatives that had been rolled out. Benji, I just want to take it back to you. I need to wrap up, but closing remarks. It was obviously looking at creating a safer spaza ecosystem at large, and there have been bureaucratic failures, there have been safety concerns, but instilling trust at large, obviously, restoring hope as well for the community, given that obviously lives have been lost and really, that has really touched communities. South Africa, what's your parting shot as we continue to see the rollout of this?
Because the city of Johannesburg, again, is doing all this time when we experience such unfortunate fatalities, we want to sincerely again pass our condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. It was very unfortunate, but also it has sparked a sense of agency from our side as the city to ensure that we continue with these arrangements with our local spaza shop owners, but also to ensure that there is by enforcement through the regulation of the sector and making sure that we issue out the spaza shop permits to all the operators. Also working with the private stakeholders that we've been engaging with, so that we support the local spaza shop owners. We don't just come out as seen as being punitive, but also we incentivize them being regulated and also being compliant with the city's bylaws. So that's why you see Bontate Simon here working with us. I also wanted to announce, in a sense, that we do also have a private stakeholder partner, Kasi Eats, who's assisting people like Masechaba with last mile delivery of their goods and services in local communities. And these are the partners that we are bringing into the sector to our local operators, so that we transform but also modernize the sector itself and make it more exciting for able to reach a broader customer base, not only in their neighborhood but also within the 20-kilometer radius. So we're bringing a lot of partners that are able to bring in such sophistication into the sector. But as the city of Johannesburg, will continue going down to the ground. We'll continue engaging people to ensure that they are compliant. But for all those that have lost their loved ones, again, our sincere condolences as the city of Johannesburg.
All right, Benji, Simon, and Masechaba, thank you to all of you for joining us. I know that this serves as a conversation start, of course, given what has transpired, but the measures that had been put in place. We're looking at the issue of employment, the informal sector, regulation, concerns, public trust, and really, who ultimately benefits. Thank you to our panelists for joining us. Let's see how that rollout ensues, or unfolds rather, as they continue there. Benji Seitlhamo, Acting Director of Gauteng Economic Development, Simon Ndukwana, CEO of Lutzanetix, a leading voice in food safety, and then Masechaba Monareng, owner of Chubby Cheeks Eatery there.